Now, good day and welcome to our podcast, Think.Set.Go, which we give you to you live, obviously, from the Content Center. I'm the host for the Think.Set.Go podcast, Kaelo Sabone. And our podcast is really designed to make sure that we have conversations that touch a human being. We get you thinking, we get you set, and we get you to go for the things you want to achieve in life. But it takes a lot of work. Now, on today's episode, we're having a unique conversation with Rachel Sibinyane, and the focus on it is understanding what she does. Rachel Sibinyane is an investigative journalist. However, I'd like to hear from her exactly what she does. Maitsu, Dumela, and welcome to Think.Set.Go.
Thank you so much, Kelo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So I want to get an understanding of who you are. I think that's a very important thing. Yes, you are known as Rachel Sibinyane, from radio to your own platforms that you use to have conversations. But today I think I want to get a bit of a closer look at who you are and why you do what you do.
Thank you so much, Kelo, for having me. I'm Rachel Sibinyane from Tamaga. You know, I grew up go Tamaga, and I got married to a very supportive husband, Go Nshagashogwe. So I'm an investigative journalist, Yaga Wile. You know, I fell in love with investigative journalism, you know, after the realization that, you know, there's so many untold stories of Botswana. And I was wondering, you know, kind of why are we not seeing these stories being told? I grew up kerata go bala daily news. I would read articles in daily news, and I would read them out loud, you know. And also I would listen to Tatediswadi Kang. I would listen to Around the World Today. So me, there are so many stories we hear people talking about Momuting. Why are they not on radio? Why are they not on daily news?
Yeah.
You know, I was just wondering. So when I got an opportunity to work on radio, go Duma, then that's when Kostimulo gave me the platform to tell the stories, because Kinegi Kwalela, the Facebook page, Duma, and then he was like, Rachel, you have got very interesting stories. Why don't we give you a segment on my show, and you know, a 45-minute segment? And then that's when I started the Real Talk with Rachel Sibinyane on radio, and this is where I would interview ex-offenders, talk to them. They would tell us about their lives before, inside and outside prison. So really, that's how I fell in love with investigative journalism, and radio being that platform to tell these stories more.
Right, but you took a bit of a different beat there. You went for ex-offenders and mostly serious crime. But why that? There's so many things to investigate. Why that? There's prostitution, there's drugs, there's baby mama dramas. Why go for this particular beat of serious crime and ex-offenders and all that?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for that question. You know, usually when I introduce myself, I would go like, my name is Rachel Sibinyane. I'm an investigative journalist specializing in crime with special interest in prisons and prisoners.
Okay.
You know, so the reason why I chose that path is because I'm very intrigued by the mind of a criminal. I just want to understand why do people commit crimes? Why would we have someone commit murder? We remand them, we release them, later they commit another murder, you know. So that is why I was like, I really want to understand why these people commit these kind of crimes that they are committing. So because I met with one guy who was from prison in 2016, the stories he told me, how he went to prison, how was life inside prison, now the curiosity grew. And I was like, but so I need to hear these stories. I'm not the only one who's supposed to hear these, you know. So I'm going to make sure I look for more ex-offenders to tell these stories. Because I was like, can they prison? We know about police. But when prison, what's going on there? Why is it tronko? So that we know. So that is why I became very curious. And luckily, I was able to build a rapport with the ex-offenders. And today be le go motlhogo for them now to approach me.
Okay, so obviously, when you think about a prison, the first thing is what happens. We don't care what happens in there. We just know for you to have gone there, you are a really bad person. That's the first thing that comes into mind. This person is a bad person, is a serious criminal. That's why they're in prison, right? And that sets a bit of a difficult stereotype. How confident are you in talking to them? Because generally, I'm going to be afraid to talk to the next. It doesn't matter what crime you committed. If ukilewa matamo, we do not want to talk to you.
True. Ra go tshaba.
Yeah.
Ra go tshaba ene re go tshaba le bye-bye. You know, but like I'm saying here, like, and I'm very curious. I want to understand why did you rape? Like, why did you kill? You know, what was going on inside your mind? So because of that curiosity, that is why now it's easier for me go ba ikatumetsa. And go ba ikatumetseng ga ka go ntira gore ba tle ba ntshepe le nna jalo ke bo ke ba tshepa gape hela se se leng botlhokwa ebile se le motlhogo ke gone gore I understand what they're going through. I understand gore ke batho ba kile ba tshela ka kontle ya ka nna le wena e be ile gone gore go iragala se se iragalang bo ba heletsa ba ya kgolegelong. So ga ke ba judge.
Okay.
I don't judge them at all.
Those are the most judged people, though. They've been judged in court, they are judged in prison, and we judge them in society, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you afraid for your life? Some of these people are rapists, some are murderers. Aren't you afraid that the guy will lower you to end up raping you or killing you?
That's a very good and important question, Gaelo. You know, ke leka ka bojotlhe gore ha ke buisana le motho yona ke leke go tsaya nako go mo ithuta go bona gore na re o tenwa ke eng jalo le jalo. That is why ke ne ka lemoga gore ka gore bontsi ba bone ba ke bua le bone ke banna. That is why ne ka lemoga gore borre ba ga ba batle go judgiwa. You know, ha o ka bua sengwenyana tse ka reng se supa gore wa mo judge go mo triggera. So yaanong ke tsaya nako ke be ke ba ithuta ke be ke lebelela se sengwe se ke se ithutileng in investigative journalism ke gore ke tshepe ka ha ke ikutlwang ka teng. O bona when I feel gore I'm not supposed to meet with them, I don't meet with them. You know, so motho ka setho sa motho o na le setho mo go yene. You know, so ha o bona gore mme yo nyamme ke mmehelo e leng gore o iketlile gape ke lemogile gore bontsi ba bone ba lemoga gore ke very cautious when it comes to security saka wa bona wa khona go lemoga hela ha o buisana le mongwe gore yo ka se ke gongwe a tloge a dumele. Also hela re na le di hardcore criminal. You know, ke kile ka dira an interview with one of the robbers. So batho ba go motho gore ha o bona batho ba khona go plana gore ba go tsaya madi a banka gore ba ntsheng ke go ka nna motho ba ka itse gore ba ka mpona jang ke batho ba ileng gore they've got connections. You know, so sometimes ke gore ha gongwe ba ka khona go lemoga gore okay, so gongwe security sa gagwe sentse jana go se ka nna dingalo to penetrate or whatever. You know, so gone I'm very cautious when it comes to go dila le bone le gone go lemoga gore ha nka ya go tsanka sekeki.
Okay, so now let's look at this particular people, right? They obviously having been to prison or about to go to prison, whatever the case may be, they have a certain way that they live life, right? Then they go into prison to become prisoners. Is there anything different they experience in there that could change them for worse or better when you talk to them, as you talk to them?
Ha ke bua le bone tota pele a re tsehela gore kgolegelo tsa rona tsa mo Botswana kaelo disipiri ka tsela ya gore ga re itse sepe ka dikgolegelo.
Yeah, ga gono go rutileng ka yone gore go iragala mo teng.
Ga gono po go rutileng ka yone. Nna ke gola ke itse gore kgolegelo ke go gamolwang batho ditlhaloganyo teng gore ebile ko kgolegelong ga wa tshwanna go nna o le comfortable. O tshwanetse gore re o tla go tswa ka go tlhaloganyo ga be gamogile ka tsela e leng gore ga ona go batla go boela ka go. So yaanong ha re na le kgolegelo ka tsela e ntseng jalo e le gore it makes these people very uncomfortable. Ba bangwe ba ka gamoga tlhaloganyo a ipolela gore I'm not going to go back there. But mo teng ga kgolegelo kaelo from my conversations with these guys, there's a lot of things happening in there. Gore ke botshelo ba bone bo le nosi ke le gore ka re it's a different world altogether. Kana that is where go nnang le gore go rekisiwe ditagi go nna le gore go a rekisiwa
Ba rekisa ditagi within prisons.
Ditagi di a tsena, they're being smuggled.
Come on, I thought our prisons are very safe.
Oh no. Nya raetso ditagi di a tsena ebile le commissioner Mamarate, the former commissioner wa rona kana o tsetsa tsamaile rights o ile ko sepodising o supile jalo gore re na le challenge yone eo gore contrabands are being smuggled inside our
but di tsengwa ke mang obviously ga nka tswa ke tla go tswa ko ntle ke le civilian ke le tsenya mo teng di tsengwa ke mang?
That's a very, very good question. Di tsengwa ke mang? Di tsengwa ke mang? So, wa go itlhela le gone gore the commissioner was saying ba lemogile gore dilo tse di tsengwa ke masika le ditsala tsa magolego. You know, we would have a prisoner a ya ko court, a ya spatela. Ntse bo ene o kgonne go bua le mongwe kwa ntle gore bona ke tebe ke le ko marina ya ka ke le ko marina yana ke go a toileting. So ke kopa gore mo toileting e ka ga morago ga nneng yana bontsenyetsa cell phone go tsa bontsenyetsa motokwane ka go wa bona. That is another way.
Yeah, but still has no prison ha ba sechiwe.
Ba sechiwa. So ha ba ntse ba mpolella ba bangwe ba supa gore gona le ka ha ba di tsenyang ka teng ba ka di tsenya ka ha maragong jalo. Those are one of the ways.
No, those things happen more in movie.
Nya ra yo tshedi a diragala le mo go rona ka ha ba di tsenya ka tselentseng jalo.
Nya me cell phone a ke a tsena ka go.
Ye nyenyane ena.
Sedilame.
Sedilame.
E tona.
Nya me ra etso ya tsena sedilaka. Sedilame ya tsena hela gona le ka ile gore they wrap it ka teng and then they use Vaseline go bona gore ya go tsena ka go. Yes. So another way ye leng gore in contraband di a tsena ka kwa according to ex offenders ba supa gore ba thusiwa ke ma jail guard a mangwe. O tla gopola jalo gone gore early last year I think I did a story of a prison officer wa go mo Lepololo who was caught ka di drugs. So ile gore wa go di tsenya ka go tswa go di tsa bona di tsa teng mo Gaborone and then a batla go tshwara gone go mo Lepololo gore tse dingwe wa go di tsenya mo teng ga kgolegelo. So I was reliably informed gone gore cell phone hela mo teng ga prison ya tura. You know, yone hela sedila mail ngore is 200 and something. It goes around more than 500 pula.
But okay. How? Like, how is there trade in there? Like, how's money moving? Forget the cell phone. Cell phone can fit in there, sure.
Yeah.
How's money moving and what are they using the money for? And who's the bank? Because for money to be there, someone has to be the bank. Prisoner.
You know, kana go polo gore re ra welwa ke siru sa bo orange money masko maizaka ene ke itumela gore bana ba ya maka dinao. So go supagala gore these scammers ke di prisonera
ba ita ba le ko prison kana kwa motshwara
ba ita ba le ko prison and ba dirile madi hela a sengana ka sepe ba mogile ba tswara madi hela a sengana ka sepe. Now no ga se kanya gore ga ba itse gore ba ireng ka one. Oh, people are running businesses ba le right inside prison. Batho ba ga mantlo kwa ntle ba le mo teng ga prison. So re tla be re go ita 200,000 wa gago ga re sena go ita 200,000 wa gago ra montsha 200,000 wa ke re ke tlo go bolela gore o dire jang a ba heletsa tsena into my orange money account or into my account then ke distribute madi a lo ke a ntshetsa kwa ntle. Ke tla be ke na le my brother or my sister yo kwa ntle leng gore ke tla be ke dirisana le ene gore bona go tlo tsena 10,000 pula go wena. So that is how they do it. Go a reksiwa di cell phone, go a reksiwa metokwane mo teng ga prison. So madia antiwa a tswela kwa ntle.
So the serious entrepreneurship taking place mo di prison.
O bona batho ba di prison ha gona batho ba pepe ba na le madia ka batho ba go di kgolegelong.
Okay, no, but by KYC. Okay, right now it's KYC season 4. All the cell phone networks.
Now, that is one of the strategies. Se leng gore these networks di tsile ka yone rights go bona gore ya no khanyele ya yema
re khona ka di KYC
ra go khona ka yone. So now I was wondering gore guys ke eng mo di prisons tsa rona re sa leki go install di network jammers because now I feel that's the only
but the prisoners also need phones. I mean the jail guards jail guards need phones.
Go tlo gonna le gore ba ira jang whether this network jammer gongwe re khona go tsenya the cell phone tsa ba mo teng, you know, something I don't know. But how do they figure that out? Because I'm telling you, I was talking to one ex-offender ke moraker. Kana ke haya no ga tira go registera di nenyane tse kukwa. Ha go no po tlhola nga ka registerela. Oh, le hanga registerela an inmate number. Hela ha idira molato, e tla go gonna.
e ka re maina ke a gago unless gongwe ka gore go a diragala o duetse motho wa countera yone eo ya di-cell phone network gore nya tshwara 500 ke o direle motho o sim card. That's possible.
Quite possible. Yaanong gongwe ke tsone di-loophole tse e leng goreng ba tsile go di dirisa yaka ba tle ba le mo teng ga kgolegelo. So we are really trying ba leka these network providers go bona gore this issue ya go utswela batho madi e tlo go lala eme.
No, let's hope they can manage that. So now, let's look at the sex offenders, the ex-offenders themselves, right? They come out of prison, they have to come back to society, right? Half the time, do they stay outside? Or will go back, but what takes them back to prison?
You know, it's so unfortunate for a re-offender, you know, but se ke se lemogile ga ke ntse ke dira interviews with ex-offenders is that go reintegrate go nna dingalo ka gore ra ba jaja re santse re filela gore yo ke o utswang o, you know, ka tsela e ntseng jalo that stigma le discrimination ga ntse e le teng mo go ene o palelwa ke go tshela sentle le rona o go iphitlhela a boetse kwa mme ebile ka ele ke batla gore re mo nakong e tlang re bone gore we call the psychologists re ba bitse re tlo go ba hana ba re tlhalosetse gore ntse he sentle how does that contribute to gore motho a iphitlhela a boetse kwa.
But I thought there's a system that was brought in by Mama Rathe. It's unfortunate that she's been moved.
Yeah.
Or fortunate, we never know. But when Mama Rathe came in, she came with this prisoner reintegration system where ana puta motho o tlogore wa mogele gore motho o una le go tronkong me ga tshwana go boela go gore le mo amogele. Is that working though?
Yeah, you know, lenano lo ke lenano le leng goreng le botlhokwa thata, you know, e rile le introduceiwa ka 2021. I was like, this is a very good initiative e re ntseng re emetse. So ga nke gone go lemoga gone gore a mme go lo mo go ntsha maduo. So la bohelo ga re biditse Mama Rathe ona re bolelela gone gore since 2021 re sena go dira lenaneo lena about 400 or so inmates were released from prison and only 11 re-offended. So the problem bana ba dira conference last year where they set up the committee mo motse mo na le committee ya reintegration re leka gore re bone gore motse ha le go le go le tswa mo teng ga kgolegelo ra la amogela re le motse. These committees di hediwa ke di kgosi mo metseng. Kgosi ke ene the chairperson wa reintegration. So yaka ba dirile lenaneo le ntse ka tselentseng jalo se ke neng ka se lemoga ha re le go conferencing ba ne ba ikuela batho ba di committees kana go bole gore ke batho ba ithaopang gore tota go ne go ka dirwa jang gore le re motivate gore re bereke ka thata ka natla a re ka se ke re bone gongwe di allowance nyana go bona gore re ka tsoga re le mapolofolo re itse gore tota re berekela go bona gore metsi ya rona ya hetoga ka tselentseng jalo wa bona. So le nna ke ne ya nna kganyeng ka ile mo ga ke bona gore e botlhokwa e ka re gongwe ga madi a biwa ga bona gore le lone lenaneo le la belwa madi ka gore ke a go bolela kae gore lephata la dikgolegelo le tsontse la lemoga gore le tsentse batho ka hale ba e leng gore ga ba bantsha ka kwa these are our brothers, our neighbors, ba tsena mo go rona gape e re tsontse re boneng gore le rona hela re le in the community re baakanyediwe go tla ga motho re rutiwa ka botlhokwa ba go amogela le go legwa ga le tsena.
But are these people ready to come back to society? Because that's one thing. You can be ready because your time has lapsed and you are now supposed to go back. But the way they are treated in prison, does it make them ready to go back to society?
Personally, I feel no at all. Bone ba tlhele ba batla go tswela kwa ntle a ke ba batla freedom ya bone. Mme hela the way go dirwang ka teng. Ke atla ke re ke sala ke ntse ke re le go morago hela. We cannot be operating ka 5 psychologists tsa di prison.
How many prisons are there in Botswana?
22, 23 thereabouts. And then we only have 5 psychologists.
So one person per 5 of them, almost.
Ebile ga go a nna ka tselentseng jalo re na le 1 ko Francis Town, 1 Mahalape, 2 Gaborone, and then 1 Silibepikwe. So
oh,
we do not have a psychologist ko Molepolole.
And actually most of the escapes still ka dutlwana it's gona ka Molepole moshopa ka
gape ga re tsaya le di crimes tse leng gore di a diragala ke di crimes tse leng gore according to bobega dikgang re iphitlhela le gore go begwa thata ka dikgang tse di diragalang mo teng ga ko molepolole wa bona. So go ka go kaela dipolano tse di kana-kana tse ga o ka utlwa go sa umakiwa
Mo
molepolole.
di-prisoning.
No.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
dipolano just in general?
Ee,
Yes.
batho hela ba e leng gore ba commit di-crimes o tlhaele gore ko molepolole gone ko ba teng dipalo di go godimo. So yaanong bo ipotsa gore ga re na le gore kweneng e be e le gore e na le dikgang tse di ntseng jaana tsa borukutlhe, ra reng jaanong ke re sa tlise specialist ko molepolole, because kweneng these offenders ba tsewa ba tshelwa mo teng ga molepolole prison, so yaanong re tshwanetse go bona gore ha le gola re le release ra bo re sa bolo go le baakanya 6 months even a year prior to the release, re mo baakanyetse go tswela kwa ntle, re baakanyetse le the community ya e tlong go tswelang ko ntle go yone.
What about the victims though? The community is one thing. I mean, community, Malazinga and Botswana community is almost non-existent. But what about now? Someone is being released and robbed me or raped someone I know, and I'm supposed to interact with that person back into society. That's not an easy thing. What happens to me as a victim or a friend or relative of the victim?
That's a very important part of this whole thing. Le ene hela yalo the victim. Ke atle ke re o bona ha the perpetrator mo tsara ntse re tabogale ene re mo isa di court ra go mo arena ka mo
Re mo isa go bo Sebrana.
ra go tlhola gore botsogo ba gagwe ba tlhaloganyo bo ntse janya kana dira mathata a kana re lebala yo e leng gore o ba e leng gore ba ne ba rata yo bolailweng. Let's take murder as an example. Re tla be re taboga le this person who has been accused of murdering this woman, re mo tabogisetsa go bosa brana ra go tlhola gore a ona a tsogile sentle ha bolaya mmeyo. Re lebala bana ba mmeyo, re lebala bo mmaagwe ba mo ratang ditsala tsa ga gore hey kana batho ba mo kutlo botlhokong seng kana ka sepe. So that is why it's very important ha ntse re tabogile leo a re tabogile le ba gape re ba potlakileng re bone gore re ba tsenya mo go tsa tshidilo maikutlo le bone jalo ba sidile ge maikutlo e tle re sena go convicta motho yona re be re mo sentence re you are going to prison for 30 years for killing this woman. 30 years a sena go tswa ko, and nako e ntse kana ga se 30 years because re na le remission o go pole gore re ntsha 1/3 of that. So no ga sena go boa ko maybe after 16 or 17 years go nna le gore gate kana re ntsha motho yona ba gaetso wa tswa in 2 months. Imagine re ne re le tlogetse hela
2 months, 16 years later, you're being told that person you forgot for 16 years is coming back in 2 months.
And re sala re le puagantse kana ka yone eo ebile le ntse le sa itse le gore gate o kae ka moso ha o a botsa gate o nna ntse le ko Mahalepe prison ka moso o kolobatsa ke re they are being moved the prisoners. So o bo mpolela gore motho o tlo go ikutla ba tlo go ikutla ka tselentse. And one thing that I realized about victims of crime ba na le go fila gore le ntse motho a tswa go spend 16 years ha ba utlwa gore wa boa e ka re ke maabane hela nna a tsamaya gore mo go bone ka re motho o nile 2 years o
botse radio wa ka ge ba ntshiwa ka bona
o tlile ka speed yang mme ha re wa lebella go mo ilene 16 full years tota. So go botlhokwa tota go rekegela maikutlo a ba diretswe molato and prioritize botsogo ba bone ba tlhaloganyo le bone re ba baakanye re ba sedile maikutlo. You never know, e ka nna ya re ba bolelwa 6 months prior to this guy's release ebo o utlwa ile gore they are willing to reconcile with this person.
Kana ke go motlola kwa ke motlele molwana
go sente se nna ke batla go bua le motho ke batla go tlhaloganya gore ke nga bolaile mama a tla mpolelle gore ntse he ke nno a bolaya mama why because I want to believe gore victims of crime especially ba ileng gore ba bolaetswe batho ba na le dipotso tse di seng kana ka sepe for this person who committed the crime.
But we're not the ones you interact with, right? The ones who've killed people or the ones who've done robberies. What do they say drives them? What happens in their head? At the time of taking the gun or the knife, what had gone on in Mutlon Zabon?
So ke selo se leng gore ga o tsoge ka sone hela ha o tsoga bona le sone gone ho ha o ka lebella batho ba tswa go bonnyeng ka borukutlo o tla bona motho from 15-16 a simolla go supa those traits tsa go senya. Bontsi ba bone ba supa gore go sokola ko malapeng a bone ke gone mo ileng gore go heletse go ba ira gore ba iphitlhela ba le mo borukutleng wa bona. Poverty ko malapeng ke yone ba heletsang ba isa gone ko le ba ileng gore ba godile sentle ba na le sengwe le sengwe mo lapeng bo go diragala gore yaanong go nna le element ya abuse, whether papa o abuse mama o nahela mo shapa, go nna go nole bojalwa, papa o tla mo lapeng a tagile o betsa the mother, the boy child witnesses those things, ba iphitlhela ekare ba tlhakana tlhogo kgotsa ke di gogela thoko, bontsi ba bone ba iphitlhela ba le mo borukutlheng. So ebe e le gore ba feel gone gore ba tshwanetse gore ba survive ka tsela nngwe yepe e rileng, especially gore ha o ka tsaya, there's a case ya mosimane yo neng a bolaya mosadi wa motho ko molepolole. Ha ke ntse ke tlhodumela o reetsa se batho ba se buang, ngwana yo ke ngwana yo e leng gore o bolele mosadi wa motho ka tlhobolo, ngwana yo ke ngwana yo e leng gore e rile a le ngwaga tse 5 gone go ra go a bola mmagwe ka tlhobolo le ene. So wa utlwa le gore ke batho ba na le di-trauma.
Yeah, so trauma then resonates. Okay, so we generally have a mental health problem. I mean, it's a big thing, right? However, how many of these cases are mental health related? If I remember very well, there's a case that's still ongoing. We can't really talk about it much. Yeah, village. The man had to go to Sabrana to be evaluated because he doesn't show a sign of anything. Like, it's like the guy doesn't exist. It's like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But what are we doing to, is there a plan though that you've heard of around mental health issues causing crimes?
O bona dikgang tsa dipolano tsa batho, especially tsone
Tsa marato
segolobogolo jang motho wa modimo. Wa go itlhela le gore there were go na le a lot of emotions involved. There's another case before court right now. E leng gore ka di 6 very soon hela jana, this accused person, he has been convicted. Now he's mitigating.
Okay.
Yes. By all means. So the doctor wanting amo evaluate ka nako ya teng ka 2016, a psychiatrist doctor o supa gore ona sa itekanela sentle kgotsa ke re ona na le mathata ka nako a teng wa bona. So ona na le anger issues gore jaanong a heletse a dira molato wa neng a o dira ke ka mo gore ona na le anger management issues. So how lebella especially tsetsa dipolano wa go itlhela le gore go na le that element ya gone gore motho o ne a kotlometse maikutlo thata kgotsa o ne a dirwa ke gone gore o na a tenega mo go ntsi wa bona. So go na le lenaneo go di-prisoning le le bidiwang go the perpetrator. It has to do with the perpetrator, especially by GBV.
Okay.
Ba leka gore ba tlhaloganye ba tle ba thuse go bona gore dikgang tse gongwe di a gokotsega, because nna ke atle ke re o bona banna ba ba 14, we now have 14 men on death row. These mo Botswana.
Okay.
3 they are awaiting gore the clemency application process iwele. And we all know gore usually mo Botswana hela ga re seng ko mo bogauhi mo dingwaganyaneng hela tse 10 o so ga re seng go re bone tautona o pehela a itshwarela motho wa tlholetsweng leso. So yaanong ba sentse ba 11 bana ke ba ile gore they are yet to go for their appeals, be go leka go kopa gore ba ska ba ka lediwa ka mabaka a ba tlebeng ba hapile. And ke atle ke re o bona borreba le botle ba neng ba sentenciwa for murder, whether ba hilo bo 30 years or so. Batho ba ke bona ba ka re bolelang gore sentle bothata ke eng? Because le maloba ha commissioner of police a re biditse for bane bana le conference bane ba lebella ka ha go ba tsamaileng ka teng. Dipolano mo Botswana ga di a wela go tlase ebile di ile ha go dimonyana. So bothata ke eng go rileng? Ke eng banna le basadi ba bolana? So wa go itlela ile gone gore ke dikgang tsa gone gore ha gongwe go itshwarwa ka tselentseng jang.
Gape historically hela we don't treat the mental health as Botswana. We don't think it exists, or I don't know what the problem is. But it seems like these things are mental health related. But from a young age, no one taught me how to manage my anger. No one taught me how to manage my anxiety. No one taught me how to manage my ADHD or whatever problem that I grew up having. So when I see abuse happen, or when a maid uses you for whatever, or when an uncle uses you, you still carry that. You might not report it then, but you've never been taught to go back and heal yourself emotionally and in the heart. So that again also might be contributing. And seeing only 5 psychiatrists working too late, because when you're working at the prison level, there's no point for you to be there. You are trying to reverse what? I mean, there's nothing you've done. So maybe we need to start from a young age and fix the problems there. Because even the judiciary now, Botswana, does not know when someone is not okay up there. You get there and you might just be sentenced to death because honestly, the judge or the magistrate doesn't know anything about the state of mind. So this makes a very big problem. So we need to try and solve it from a very young age. Now, talking of that also, let's go into the judiciary though. Do they ever make mistakes and sentence the wrong people?
I always see such comments. I doubt gore mo Botswana e bile ha re bua ka death penalty. Gore ga ke dumele gore re ka goroga go se mo se leng gore ga te re convictile
motho ka pause
go tsa motho e senyene.
But have we ever had a case in Botswana where someone, and I'm going to go for rape because usually that's what gets trending, someone who's been in prison for 12, 15 years because they raped someone but they didn't actually rape them?
Yes, renale such cases. O tla ba utlwa ba bua bone. Mme bile se di khansele gore ba di tsaya forward ba di sa pele ga le khotla gore kana ke ne ka sentence for rape while ke tota hela ne ke sa rape motho yona. So ba teng ba ileng gore the inside prison, and I know of one guy right now ileng gore o hamule polole prison, you know. That was girlfriend ya gagwe ileng gore na heletsa ile gore o mo reportile and he was convicted.
Okay, but no one has ever come back to say no. Kana me ke ne ke akela motho.
How kwa ira ya lo ka gore ibile ra go isa tronkong ka gore melao ibile ne bankangwa maloba.
So it makes it difficult.
Ibile ga ba dira jalo. You know, ke gore ke gape ke dumela gore it's also e ka nna khanya guilt gape as well. Gore she tsire ga ke a tsa motho yo sentle. Imagine gore kana with rape re go isa 10 years.
Yeah, it's actually even more now.
Yeah, it's even
going up to
more.
30, yeah.
Because o tshetse motho bolwetse gone yo ke mathata.
Yeah.
I think it's 20 years now. So it's a problem now. Imagine we send to prison for 15 or 12 years.
For a crime they didn't actually commit. So now let's look at it this way, right? So I've been hearing a lot of cases around Botswana, or issues that are saying, and this was actually been said by Rera Noane as well, to say, Ghana, we have a backlog of cases. Go court. What kind of backlog is it? Is it civil cases or criminal cases? Or is it the whole thing when you do your research?
Bunzi was only criminal cases. Kana you would know hela sentle go rona hela house to bolaile motho ra go trial ya be tlo go fela after 8 or so years.
Yeah, but we have, I mean, why would that be difficult? Is it because there's a shortage of judges or prosecution? I want to understand who's short.
Okay, now I personally feel hore ki shortage ya di judge le bo magistrate. O bona ha ne bo magistrate ba sa imelwe le di judge ba sa imelwe ke mokwa o kana wa di case. Ki dumela thata gore re ke be re di pusha. So ha re ka hira bo magistrate ba bantsi re be re hira le di judge ro ketsa palo a bone. Ki dumela gore these cases are going to move.
Okay. So but now, is there a plan as far as your research is concerned? Is there a plan to try and solve this particular problem?
Yes. O buile yalo ranwana gone gore during the legal year opening gore re tsile go hira di judge le bo magistrate. We have to do that. Gape kana o gopole gore police ga e sa tlhole e prosecute ano, they're handing over to DPP. So ke batla go dumela gore go DPP kwana re na le batho ba ileng gore ba teng bone ga ke dumele gore a tlhaelo e teng, because ha ne go na le tlhaelo ya no re ba okeleletsang di case ba se go kgona go dila le tsone.
Okay. So now we believe strongly that the judge, this problem will go away.
Nna ke le nosi ke dumela hela yalo thata.
Okay. So then I guess in this case we'll move faster. But however, the case study didn't, right? What kind of crimes are being committed by Botswana? What kind of crimes? I've heard that Zimbabweans are also committing crimes locally. I'm not sure. But what kind of crimes are foreigners? What kind of crimes are Botswana?
Well, go tshwana hela. Batswana ba commit the murder, house break-ins, rape, so even the Zimbabweans that we have or any other foreigner mo Botswana, le bone hela ka tseleng tsenjalo, they commit similar crimes. So, with Zimbabweans, how can we tend to have by escape. And when they escape, ba siya like ko Africa Borwa. Kana gompieno because Africa Borwa ga ena katlolelo leso. How siya lo go bone ko? Let's take the recent case ya ko Molepole. Okay. That guy who killed the 20-year-old girl. Yeah. You are mo kgaogantseng yana, mo kgaoganyana. That guy o setse ko Africa Borwa. And process ya teng e dingalo because rona kana ha o bola motho mo Botswana ra go bolaya.
Yeah, we work towards that.
Unless there are extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
How was the extenuating circumstances? We are Rabola. And Roko Africa will rose Sikakwa. What on a dingal? Negotiations in Kanakasi.
Yeah, and I haven't actually heard of anyone who ran to South Africa and actually came back.
Yeah,
for some reason,
yeah, there's a case very soon. There was two Zimbabwean guys by Limutswana who these two guys by Zimbabwe to kill the wife, and unfortunately they killed the wrong person.
No, wait. No, that's. This is Botswana, okay? I don't think such things that would hit men actually happen in Botswana.
We have such things. And these two Zimbabweans, I know one, una asiela ko Africa Borwa. And this one, criminal longoreng wa senya. Unfortunately, ne re santse re molitile re batla go mmusa ko Africa Borwa a tle mo Botswana a tle go seka. Unfortunately, ona bolawa ke mapodisi ko Africa Borwa. So gora re sala ka bo accused person by two, the husband and this other Zimbabwean guy.
Okay, so in terms of killing the wrong person, right? How exactly did they get the wrong person? Maybe the husband, maybe they killed the girlfriend.
No,
not to make it a joke, but I mean it's a serious problem. But it's just, how did they kill the wrong person?
This person and according to the state's or the prosecution's evidence, there was a time this Zimbabwean guy who's before court now came to the matrimonial home this couple. To
confirm the job.
And everything. So because now the wife moved from the matrimonial home, so where the sister was there. The wife's sister.
Yeah.
Yes. So no, but this is what happens. My wife was that day, the wife, the sister.
Okay, so how did they kill? They shoot the person?
And then she died.
But in this case, though, what is the proof that these people were hired to kill her?
Yeah, that's you get through a state. They have to prove their case.
This person was really hired.
Because the payments. Yo go Africa Borwa seems like when you go Africa Borwa kana o tlhoka heads. Ona a bidio go zwitshana ka davi. So it seems like ona duela ka koloi or something like that. So go nile le di payments tse ning dan nothing. And the husband had to justify sentle gore payment day ine ile ya eng jalo le jalo.
I mean, but there are so many things. I mean, a lot of Zimbabwean guys that we hire, even the president himself said in Parliament 2 weeks ago. They do, a lot of them are here because obviously back home the jobs are not there. They are here to do plumbing, they do building. So how do you prove that the guy was not hired to build?
Yeah, the state will have to prove that
Yeah.
the case. But the good thing, the good thing or what? The accused person had to bring in witness ya gagwe e confirm payment gore e ne le payment ya eng.
Oh, so they've confirmed that they've been paid for the job.
It was someone different. Just a different person came to court because the accused person was saying, I don't know this man. I've only met this man once. I don't know this man. So ga ke itse gore ha le re ke ne ke mo hirile le bua ka eng. Nna motho o neng a tsile go nna a tlile go tsaya madi. Ke motho ene ke tla mo tlisa. Indeed, he brought someone before court.
Who came to collect the money?
According to him,
Okay, yeah.
the state pioneer, this person is the one who came to your house.
So were they paid digitally or were they paid physically with cash?
They were paid with cash. And receipt. You are saying you paid this person 1.5. It seems like no deposit. Because you paid this person 1.5 and this person who super and offer the services that who bulela to the company. I am not ono sena receipt we healing reyo.
Who
Bula company you buanga yone. No sena receipt.
Yeah, but people are brave, eh? You hire someone to go and kill someone. What are you not thinking the person will finish the job, take money, and then kill you? Because they don't want loose ends.
Exactly. Even with the recent case ya Kumakwane, ya Hakulube, where the alleged boyfriend killed the school teacher. How Jola Motomadi, he also allegedly stole 50,000 to Ahaway, 50,000 pulo Ahaw. How Jola Motomadi a boom wala? How are you? Well, now I'm failing to understand.
No, but I think the mathematics is that kana ke tsere madi a motho go go ntipo at police back and forth. I hit a guy and maybe that is how they think.
But how are you going to hit again in me? But you know what I'm saying. Can't they bag and Yambatoba?
Hey.
But that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we need to. I think you're on the right track in terms of finding out how these people actually think. So let's look at crime in Botswana now is on a growing end of life, and it hurts that most of the people committing these crimes are youth, right?
Yeah.
What is the problem? Because we talk about unemployment in the country, we talk about crime going up. Is there a correlation between crime? Go tlhoka ditiro.
Go na le link e le seng kana ka seperais go gopole gore kana go tlhoka letseno ela ke so se tona madi ke sengwe le sengwe mo nakong ya gompieno so gore o iphitlhela nong o nile le tshono gore o tshware madi lebella hela gore banna ba le bane ba boma di ATM ba tsaya madi mo dikoloing tsa madi go le dingalo hela ba tsaya madi ela a seng kana ka sepe eno ene ha ke ba lebella ine le batho ba ileng gore ha ke ntse ke ba sala morago yana okay batho ba ileng gore ba spenda madi tota batho ba ileng gore ba ya
ballers
ba ya go Africa borwa go re khona go bona le ka pari tsa bone ha ba ya di court gore
yeah, I saw something trending girls but they like one of them
so ke batho le madi so ya nong burukutlunyana bo sesanyane bona ke tsone di kgang tsone tseo gape ya nong ka ile rena le bothata ba ditagi o bona bothata ba ditagi ke bona gape bo leng gore mpotsentse le suka raitso go nna le gore batho ba senyetse ba bangwe ile kganyone ya gone.
Yeah, I think in Broadhurst last year someone murdered a mother because of the same thing ditagi.
Yeah, le gone ke go
Ramotswa, yes.
Yeah, a 19-year-old boy killed Magwe. And apparently rapile gape.
So these things need to be solved because we can't get our country in any direction if we can't solve this. And I think the key thing now is that the judiciary is short, the cases are pending, but I think Ranwane did outline that there is a plan. And I think the budget speech also somewhere touched a bit on there. But we also need to solve this one, drugs, right? I know you might not be interacting with those guys who move and sell drugs. But have you met anyone within prisons who was convicted for drugs?
Ke drugs nyana tse di tshisanyane tota mo se mo go tona ela o itlhela ka motokwane nyana wa boka grams ba go sentence wa tsamaya bothata bo re na le bone kaelo ke gone gore ga re tshware
The
beng ba
kingpins.
ga re tshware beng ba ditagi go tshwana le ko kgomokhumo ko gore re motubi operation e le ya kgomokhumo re tshwara batho ba e leng goreng ke bone ba ba rekisang dikgomo ga re tshware ba e leng gore ba di ba rekisetsa
How to sort of the core operators of the business.
wa go itlhela boradi butšhara wa go itlhela bo mmasapeng because o ka ipotsa gore go nna le mogodu tsatsi le letsatsi ga le jang hele o seng kana ka sepe re kgone go gore ke mogodu a le
Le nako was na nama tota. You know gore mo ga borone Monday and Tuesday, forget it. There's no meat. Monday and Tuesday are nama, but some people are selling meat.
mpolelela gore ba tsaya ka dikgomo tseo ene ba di reka bokae se se botlhoko ka bogodu ba leruo la dikgomo wena kaelo ke gone gore batho ba ba tsaya dikgomo tsa batho 800 pula
No way.
batho ba ba tsaya dikgomo tse ba go rekisa
But when not to justify, right? In my own take, the owners of the Khomuteo should also go to jail.
why
Because they are directly facilitating crime. You have cattle. When are we going to have laws that are going to contain the situation? Because we keep coming up with laws and punishments, spending millions of pulas buying the those are our brothers and sisters. They are people who are not supposed to be badisa. So police have been downgraded to badisa ka khomukum. I believe for the owners of such cattle, you need to be reprimanded. Because they don't steal the modifamu. They take them to the same cows that are killing people on the road and causing accidents every day. Those people who own those things must go to jail. Because they're the ones who are facilitating crime. They are making it easy for criminals to exist. You know what they call BITC, business environment. We roll out the red carpet. I mean the green carpet, not the red carpet, not the red tape, okay? They are facilitating a business environment. Negligent cattle owners are facilitators of cattle rustling. Because I can tell you yesterday someone must have died on the highway because of Tuloko. You never know. You understand? So I think Khomukumo, the government should not have done that. The government should have done Khomukumo in reverse to arrest us, the cattle owners, who are neglecting our cattle. Yeah, because look at it this way, right? Khomu is 5,000 pula to 8,000 pula. I mean, if I buy a cow, I've never spent more than 5,000 to buy a cow for the events that we do, right? And if it's worth that much, I really would not want. We actually sell phone rate, but you don't take care of your cattle. I think there's a big mindset problem in Botswana, and that mindset is facilitating the small little crimes of just allowing things to just be there. You know, the basics of security, the basics of protecting your goods and services. So I find it as we are wasting bodies.
But you have conviction.
Yeah, but there are convictions, yes. But whose cattle was stolen and why? Has the owner come to court? No. Sometimes, where is the owner? You can't find the owner because of negligence. So I think also we need to balance the tips of the scale there to say, let's at least investigate how it ended up in that place in the first place. Yeah, that's a different story. There now, someone has come to you to steal. Why do when are we commercializing our cattle? When are we commercializing this thing? When are we understanding that Khomwe one is 5,000 pool? Khomute 80. Di mosadi. Do you know how valuable a woman is? You know, and you give away 8 cows and you've got a woman and you still need. But in any case, so now in getting all into this thing, right? Let's talk about a few of your experiences before we end our conversation. The prisoners you've met or the ex-offenders you've met. Who have you met? Not by name necessarily, but based on the crimes. And are they going back to prison?
Okay, I've met different and many ex-offenders, ba bangwe ba boetse ko kgolegelong, ba bangwe ba tswalela ka go dira melato e ba e dirang, mme ba bangwe ga ba sa tlhole ba batla botshelo bo ba go boela ko kgolegelong ka gore ba ithutile thata gobane dilo tse e leng gore di a diragala ko kgolegelong, dikgolegelo tsa rona are so uncomfortable. I'm not saying they should be comfortable, wa tlhaloganya. So imagine gore o tla bo tseiwa wa go tsengwa ko spill dying ko solitary confinement.
No, we don't have that. We don't have.
We actually have. It's a small dark room.
Can they take us, the media at least, for a tour of the facilities for us to understand that these things exist? Because solitary confinement, how?
Death chamber.
No, I wouldn't go there. The amount of souls that are lingering on that death chamber. Starting with, there's even a white soul in there. So no way.
Solitary confinement.
The souls are lingering there. And you never know. I mean, I know you, like you said, there are drugs in prison, but I think beyond the drugs. But is the prison services though open to such, to saying, let's give the media a tour in an understanding of our prisons? Well, she's gone now. They've replaced her with a strong man.
Yeah, with Anthony Mugento.
Yeah.
Anthony Mugento, we would love to see maximum prisoners and mote because I rule from ex-offenders. No, maximum prisoners are not how would you say, how would you all those kind of things. So, imagine what's solitary confinement thing when for 7 days. You will hire more those and simply Barokono 14 days.
But what kind of melato yelling what we have more prison? Melato son leave.
Cell phone. I get they threaten us. They threaten us go court. We really might tell us in Canada say happily. Oh, but
that sounds very personal though. I mean, if you're not strong enough, you're not. Don't blame me.
No. How an inmate prisons. So sa tlo go batla go ira diwo tse di sa nnang sentle hape le ga bone batla go punisha, and I totally agree with that one. How a go tlhoka maitseo go di-court o mo custody
o talla motho a go tlhokometse
ke eng o tshwanetse go talela. Imagine basimenyana ba beneng ba escape ko Moshopa prison ba malobanya
the Zimbabwean guys. Yeah.
I was reliably informed gore ba ne ba dila le bone sentle bashimanyana ke bana batho bale bo freedom mati, they're very young, they dealt with them since solitary confinement. So how you would never want to go into solitary confinement.
It doesn't make people stronger. I mean, some people thrive on pain.
But majority of them hey, how because imagine when I was into more is 3 by 3 or so.
Yeah.
I
can imagine that 7 days sounds like 21 days.
Oh, hey.
Because every day is 3 days when you're in there. Hey. So we've got these things, we've got this type of things, right? Much as they get punished, yes, they bring drugs, yes, they do that. I've heard rumors that there's rape, not heterosexual rape, like same-sex rape happening in prisons. Could that be true?
Le rape. Go bua gape go nna le mo ileng gore go na le ditumalano tsa gore nya nna le wena re tla tla re berekisane ka tsela ntseng jana. Wa bona. Mme ra itse la gore Botswana Prison Service ga se so se ileng gore e ka se confirm gore sa diragala.
Yeah, because they've refused to put condoms in there clearly many years ago.
Ke kile ka buisana le menasha ko santse ke le ko radio tota ene na dumela gore ke so se ileng gore se botlhokwa gore se iragadiwe gore re ka tsenya
di-condom
gone ka kwa hela ha ile gore go na le dilo tseo go tla iregala mme go iragala go itshirelediwa because go nnile le di-case tse e leng goreng batho ba bangwe ba dule ka kwa ba na le mogare mme yaanong mpotso e ka nna gore o itse jang gore mogare o gongwe o go tsene ka kwano ka gore tota ga batho re ba tsenya ka kwa ga re dire di-tests dipegela
there's no medical test, nothing. You just go in.
Gongwe ne re dira bone bo HIV test ebile e le mandatory wena kaelo gore go sa negotiate o itse gore ga o tsena mo ra go tlhatlhoba re itse gore seemo sa gago ke se se emeng ka tselentseng jang so that ga o tswa ka kwa bo itse gore nyame o ntse jalo kgotsa go na le sengwe se se changile.
All right. So now let's talk about this one, right? The people you've interacted with who are from Matamo, as it's called, right? When you talk about reintegration, coming back into society, how do they feel about it? How do they feel about coming back now to meet people?
O spendile 8 years mo teng ga kgolegelo. Go a tshosa. I remember there was one guy who was remanded for 8 years.
Not sentenced, just remanded, yeah.
Remanded for 8 years. You know, this guy has he immediately contacted me. Hey, my sister, oh, okay. You know, this guy, Onarata Go Master, the late Go Master.
Yeah.
And I would get people who that guy, Ona go reditse mo radio. So nare ka gore o tsena ka la boraro Go Master o tla ba tsena ka 10 gone hae. I can't host the Go Master. I did that. We hosted together the Go Master. Oh, the show was so beautiful. And I talk about hey, my sister, we ready to an Go Master. Tell me, Go Master because she was around 2 seconds to my good. Oh, what really? Hey, keep on like you tell about. Ke hapalla hela ke batla go nna mo spacing sa me ke le one gape ha ba bua yana ke fila gore ba bua ka nna le ha ba tshega hela ba itshegela tsa bone ke fila gore ba tshega ka nna ba ntse ba bua ka nna.
That's a bit of post-traumatic disorder, stress disorder though.
Hey,
it's close to that.
We see ka hutsahala gore o khona go bona ga gone go baakanyediwa go tswela ko ntle go botlhokwa gore batho ba baakanyediwe go tswela ko ntle. You know, unfortunately, ga go nne ka tselentseng jalo gore o ntse o ipaakanyetsa go tswela ko ntle o tla o tshela batho ka tselentseng jana ba bangwe ba tlile go fila gore o santse o ka reipa kgotsa o santse o utswa and go lo mo ga go tshwanela go busetsa ko morago. Now the same guy has committed the same offense ke yone recidivism e re buang ka yone gore o gola mo molatong kgotsa mo crimeng e leng gore wa bontse o e tshwaretswe.
Yeah. Because, but if you don't fit in also, you will find a way to fit out back to prison.
Yes, o gopole gore kana kwa a kere ke le hatsela bone ya ba le nosika ko so o tla o bona gore ka kwana go tlhagotlhana le rona go batho ka kentse ke boetse ka go e leng gore ngago and kwa ba mpolela gore kwa ga go no po jajang ope because kwa re tlile ka mathata a kere a rona a ile gore a re tsentse kwa so ga go utlwela go ntse go yole ke le godu yole ke rapist yole ke they don't
end of the day you all are in there. Okay, so Maitsu, I don't know what do you see as the future of dealing with this in Botswana? Do you think we are growing mindset wise, especially as Botswana gore nya me ra accept gore nya dio tse dia diragala batho people end up in jail for different reasons. We just have to find a way to forgive them and bring them back. Do you think Botswana's mindset is prepared for that?
Gompieno re le Batswana ga re ko re khakala a kere nna gompieno I deal with prisoners crime. You know the kind of content that I put on my Facebook page ke a bona through the comments gore hey santse rena le tsela e telele ya go itsamaya because go morago people used to wonder gore ntse he wena ke ngorata go buelela magolego ebile ne ba fila gore nna ke buelela magolego ba ntse ke ngorata go buelela magolego ing but ke khona go bona gore okay go ne le shift mo ditlhaloganyong tsa batho. The more I bring these kind of stories now batho ba tsimolla go leba dilo ka tsela e pharologanywa bona so se se tlhokagalang ke gore Botswana prison service le rona re le bobega dikgang re tla ba thusa re berekele the community re tlise dikgolegelo go bathong re tshwanetse go tlisa dikgolegelo go bathong o bona se nneng Mamarathe a re wa se dira a re se tswelediseng re le Botswana Prison Service a re tliseng dikgolegelo go bathong ke a go bolelela go tlo go nna motlogo go tlo go nna motlogo gore e re gote semamangke o a tswa a re mo amogeleng re bo re mo amogela ka gore Botswana Prison Service e tsene mo bathong.
But again, we are afraid of hiring them. So.
Exactly, bile gongwe government ebile ene ga ba hiri gotlhelele government wa bana mme government.
But they've got skills, eh?
Oh, o bana le bana ba ba ha own le di ha morago ha ba ba re ba hit them.
Yeah, I actually suspected that some of them could be ex-offenders.
Yeah.
The amount of skill and talent they have there, I don't think Botswana Brigades has actually ever contained people to train them on skills at that number.
No, Botswana Prison Service you know, when it comes to skills acquisition, mo o di kgolegelong right. Ba ruta ke yone hey, it's working. There's even one guy who recently sent me pictures of his work. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Where did you learn this? Kiko prison or kiko madirelo, you know. He said, no, ki ma jail guard mo teng ga kgolegelo.
Okay. So now let's now take an opportunity there, right? So they come out with skills. There's a place called Madirelo Training and Testing Center, which is along Samora Machel Road, near Fairgrounds Mall. Can these guys qualify to be tested there? I think we need to go and find out if they can qualify to be tested there. Because they've got the skills, they've got trade skills that maybe need just tests. Just this week, right, one of the ministers, Assistant Minister of Education, Rehabilitation, was talking about how important these vocational skills are. They are not in the hands of any other Motswana. I don't have them. But someone who has them is someone who probably has been in prison. Of course, I do have them, but most of the people that I've interacted with also, some of them are from prison to learn the skills. Can they be given certificates? Because I can they be given certificates to qualify for other jobs?
I do believe a few
okay.
So
test. Okay.
Test that.
Right.
So we actually have.
Okay, so then that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So these guys or these people are unemployable, obviously, because of the records that they have, especially within government and security companies and other places, right? But our banks willing to give them money to run businesses.
Yeah. SIDA, right, so it support ex-offenders.
Okay.
Yes. During the conference last year, SIDA used to be around, I think it was 10 million.
Okay. That's fantastic though.
Yeah, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, you know, so if I'm about 4.
Okay. All right.
And molepolle kana go pole gore ke go eleng gore go diragala ditse dintsi thata teng monna gona le farm go molepolle seng kana ka sepe you know so ya nong molepolle ke yone ne ya bona ba bane ba tsoko molepolle ke bone ba bona funding ka dipalonyana tse di ha godimo I think mahala pe le mongo o bone funding go SIDA. So I know one guy that I did historic sense ke le go Daily News owning a fundiwa ke SIDA lene o ira upholstery something like that so ufandile ke SIDA a tswa go prison for murder.
So now as we wrap up, can these people be trusted to become entrepreneurs? Because in Botswana we need to create jobs. They clearly are unemployable in some cases, but they have skills. Do you believe that prisoners can actually create employment in this country?
I definitely believe so. O bona ha re ka dirisa gore re ba baakanyetse go tswela kwa ntle. Re ba rute gore ha go tswela kwa ntle go tshelwa jang le batho because le leya tota bana le program yo.
There's a program it's just there.
It's a big. Na ke batla it's a big. Ba tsama ba go rutwa ka tsone ditse bo SIDA bo anger management le ya le one ya go tla go dira di presentation but na I feel gore itshontsho re nne sengonyana se se tsa le bakanyana le pele le rileng so that re ba ntsha ka kwa no ba because majority of them if not all of them ba tsoka ko motivation wa bone o tsamaka gore ba tsoka go bana le di plan gore ba tsoka go ba itse gore ha ba tsena ba tla ba irang unfortunately ha go diragale ka haneng ba kantse gore
it's not as easy as it seems.
Yeah. But go bana le mafulufulu a seng kana ka sepe right.
All right. Rachel, thank you very much for making time to come through. And I think we learned a lot today. And I think what I picked up that I'm going to follow up on is primarily converting an ex-offender into an entrepreneur, because it's the key thing that they can go for. And I think from what you said about Boleya, Bosida and other programs, it means that we have a bit of a diamond sitting there that we are afraid of approaching. And we're busy judging people who could actually come in and help create employment. Rachel, thank you very much for your time and thank you for coming through. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Think.Set.Go. We're speaking to Rachel Sibinyane about just generally how sex offenders are. And I think on a Think.Set.Go perspective, we've picked up the opportunities that lie around on entrepreneurship for ex-offenders. And I think government and systems are prepared to assist. But we're just going to go back now on the next episodes to try and dig out what can be out there to develop their lives. Thank you for watching.